In this video, you will see my full process of both sketching and watercolor painting a street scene from the city of Gothenburg in Sweden. I often start by taking a close look at the scene and try to analyze it to understand how it's composed. I try to visualize where the horizon line is, what the big masses are, and how they connect. I also look at what elements are in the foreground, in the middle ground, in the background, and also what elements connect all of them. For example, a high street lamp visually connects the ground with the sky, so the foreground with the background. This sort of analysis at the beginning of every drawing has the role of helping you feel more comfortable with the subject. And by investing a few moments of scene analysis at the beginning, you will sketch it with more confidence and in this way achieve better results. So, I start with placing the horizon line and the big masses, like the building on the right, the one on the left, and the street with the pedestrian crossing and with the people that animate the entire place. With the pencil, I do a light sketch to block out the big shapes in as accurate proportions as I can at the moment, during this first interaction with the empty paper. In the next step, with my fountain pen and waterproof ink, I can readjust some proportions if needed. It's always easier to build on top of an existing sketch than to draw on empty paper. So, I will draw more details that help in better communicating the characteristics of this specific place and its scale. I am careful that the lines of the levels go well with the perspective, because this will make the composition feel right. I also suggest some of the windows, emphasizing more details on the corner of the building and loosen up towards the lateral, further away parts of the building. I use thicker lines for the elements that are closer to us, that are more in the foreground or even middle ground, and by these elements I mean, for example, the people crossing the street or the street lamps. So, to sketch these elements, I use my Fude pen and create thicker lines. This difference in line thickness helps in better communicating depth. I often get asked this question: how do you convey depth in a drawing? Well, using different line weights is a way to emphasize what elements are closer and what elements are further away. Now that we have a nice sketch, we can start watercolor painting it and, in this way, tell more about its personality. But in preparation for watercolor painting, I start by taping the margins of my watercolor sketchbook with simple masking tape, and I do this to obtain a white clean edge at the end. You can find links to all my art supplies in the description of this video, so go and check them if you need art supplies and also want to support this channel. Now, I start with pre-wetting the area of the sky and of the street. The ink is moving a bit because I didn't wait at all for it to dry. I should have left it a minute or two to completely dry. After this, I continue with making a light wash of cobalt blue and raw sienna to suggest the overcast sky. As you see, it's quite a cloudy day in Gothenburg. This city is on the west coast of Sweden and is the second largest city in the country. Having access to the North Sea that is well connected with the Atlantic Ocean, you get a different feel while walking close to the water. I mean, different compared with Stockholm. In Gothenburg, you feel a stronger smell of salty water. Very hard to explain it in words. What I mean is that every place transmits something to you. Every place has its own feel and builds up a memory that stays with you. Now, back to the painting process. After painting the sky, I continue with suggesting the street, and here I am very careful to paint around the bars of the crossing. This technique, when you paint an object by painting around it, it's called negative painting. So I suggest the street and the crossing of the street, and then with a thinner wash I paint the middle ground, so the square area between the street and the buildings. So, the dominant color in this painting is blue. Sometimes it's more towards gray, sometimes more towards violet. But having a dominant color helps in creating unity in your paintings. I continue the painting with suggesting the people, their bicycles, a few more entourage elements like street lamps, cables above the street, and so on. If you enjoy seeing my painting process, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also, push the notification bell. In this way, you'll get updated about future videos.